of the CattleUSA Daily Podcast. Today, we are bringing you your weekly market report with Dan Gerhold from Logic Ag Marketing. In our partnership with CattleUSA Insurance and Logic Ag, we bring you guys these market reports every single week to kind of just talk about the highs, the lows, what Dan is seeing, his thoughts, our opinions on all of the things that are kind of just going on in the markets right now. So this week, we just nice and casually discuss the things that we're seeing in the market, or maybe not seeing in the market right now. And so let's go ahead and just get into this episode with Dan, and y'all can hear it straight from him.
Feel underdressed for the occasion. You're all dressed up again.
You made fun of me for my pink last week, so I had to show up in a bright red today. I was going to show up in my workout set. I really was. And then I was like, no, I have a reputation to uphold now. I have to show up in bright, crazy colors now. So, which is not very much of my wardrobe. So red is about as good as you're going to get. But
okay, gotcha. No, my bad. Showed up in farmer clothes today.
It's relatable. Who gives a shit? Not me. I don't care.
Okay, all right. Good.
Well, what do you want to talk about today?
Let's talk a little bit about meat. Pulled up a report yesterday, and the feature rate went up in grocery stores. Super good news that they're starting to feature beef. In fact, I even had a guy send me an ad where whole boneless ribeye roll was, I think, $14 a pound, and ham sitting right next to it was $5, in the same advertisement. And I'm thinking, I know historically ribeyes are not a solid Easter meal plan, but I would be inclined to eat the ribeye, prime rib.
I appreciate that personally. We're a prime rib family for holidays, so
good.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. It's what we got in the freezer too. Like, we have pork in there, but I don't know. Beef just feels more luxurious, I guess. Feels nicer.
Feels nicer, better holiday. Yeah. I don't know. And can't go wrong with a good ribeye or prime rib.
Exactly.
Glad to hear that. I'm glad to see the feature rate went up. My hope is that once we get past Holy Week here, we can step into grilling season. Get into the heart of that. Come May, the weather's improving nationwide. We can keep those grills fired up and keep these box beef prices up at these levels. I can get pretty optimistic. As we come into the major heart of, I call it the end of May. It seems like that's when grills are really, really going. So I'm optimistic that we can do that. I still think the Packers have some meat on their shelves they got to clean up, but I've also over the last 2-3 weeks watched the dollar collapse. So if we can get a really good export report this morning, that would be optimistic. Try and get that meat cleaned up through the export market would be good. All of this, as it relates back to the cattlemen, it all comes down to the daily kill. All we ever have to watch is the daily kill, because that's what decides if the Packers are going to be aggressive on buying cash cattle. So they have been cutting kills because they haven't been moving the meat. Once they get that meat move cleaned up as we come into grilling, and they do a lot of times still overstock their meat, leave it sit for this prime grilling season. February lull we had, the March lull we had, they would throw meat in the freezer and hold on to it for this May time frame. So I'm just hopeful that we can actually get all of that cleaned up and actually get the Packers to the point where they're short on meat to fill their formulas they have on meat, to fill their even spot market. It'd be nice to get them really, really hand them out so we can go into the summer and be really optimistic. So that's the long and short of it. That's what matters. Get the retailers featuring it, get some good ads, get the consumer really, really plowing through the beef. That'd be nice.
Well, and I think we're always playing that happy medium of we want beef to be featured and affordable, yet we also want it to be a value product that is recognized on the shelves and stuff like that as that. So it's like we want it to be a little bit more expensive, but you don't want it to be so expensive that people aren't picking it up. And it's always kind of like towing that line of we want people to pick up we want people to pick up ag products no matter what. But as cattlemen within the beef industry, we want people to pick up beef. And so what are we doing to get people to pick up that ribeye rather than that ham? What are we doing to get people to pick up a thing of frozen ground beef rather than a thing of frozen chicken breasts, right? Like, what are we doing to continue to push that consumer market there? As far as cleaning up these packers and everything like that, do you think a lot of it is relying on the export market that we're currently dealing with, or is that also just us waiting here in the U.S. for our demand to pick up a little bit more as we go into spring?
Historically, February, March aren't really solid beef months. Our production has been about 1% under last year, so we've still been running a higher production with high weights and with increased imports.
Mm-hmm.
Exports are part of it. I mean, our export market has been, let's just call it zero. It sucks. It picked up last week, which was good to see.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic it's going to pick up again this week. You know, a combination of all of the things. You got imports, exports, and total production from domestically here with those weights. So when you combine all of them, it puts me on edge that we're even stacking meat up. I would like to see us cleaned up and current all the time, but that's just not the way it works. So as those packers control that kill, they're trying to control box beef prices and keep those elevated at this 340 level so that when they come into spring grilling demand, you know, they can push that up to 350, 355 possibly. I don't know, maybe it touches 360. It seems like the consumer's already strapped enough on cash that I don't know if we can push them to that level. It'd be nice if gas prices came down a little faster, the way oil prices came down, because that'd free up a little bit of capital. All your other consumables are really expensive, just given inflation. Like you say, we're expensive already, but we want to hold these levels. We just want to shift the consumer's spending habits into the beef market. You know, I still root for pork. The hog producers, they work hard too, so I want ham to do well too. That is a market, an industry that is very reliant upon exports. So I'm optimistic. Hogs here, I think it's hard for me to be bearish cattle and bullish hogs. So if we can get those exports to ramp up going into Mexico, clean up the same thing in the hog market, get that cleaned up, get good demand going there, I would be really happy, because I would love to sell beef here and sell all the ham to Mexico. I'm in a perfect world, right? But it's a big balance. So yeah, it's and a big unknown right now coming into this grilling.
Yeah, 1,000%. I think we always kind of start off the year in a little bit of that unknownness because, like you said, historically, especially with Lent and everything like that, it's just beef is not the number one pick in these first few months that we see here in the U.S. And so kind of as weather starts to warm up and as people start to get outside and all the mini little league games start and all the things like that, hopefully, hot dog sales, hopefully we see some all beef hot dog sales go up, all the things like that as we kind of go into this spring season. What are we kind of seeing elsewhere in the market? Any other thoughts? We're starting, some people are finishing up spring calving, some people are just starting. How's all that kind of looking for?
Need a ranch hand, livestock manager, or just some good help around the place? Ranchwork.com is the go-to job board for ranching-focused careers. They connect employers like you with folks who live and breathe the ranching lifestyle. With over 1 million visits a year, your job posting is going to reach a massive audience of experienced, hardworking cowboys, ranch hands, and land stewards, all right here in the U.S. And the best part, the ad rates are super reasonable. So head on over to ranchwork.com and get your job opening in front of the right people today.
I mean, in my neck of the woods, it's been Twin City. Everybody's dropping twins on the ground. It seems like it's a common theme all the way up north. Haven't talked to a lot of guys down south. I mean, their calving's more spread out, but it might be the same down your way. I don't know.
We had a set of twins this year, too. The most amount of twins we had was 4 years ago. We had 4 sets of twins.
Oh, wow.
That was a lot. That was too much.
That's a lot of twins, yeah.
No.
A lot of twins coming through. Cash cattle was a little disappointing last week. Most of the trade was under 210. I didn't want to see that, but it is what it is. I'm not expecting a ball of fire when it comes to cash this week, just from the standpoint you've got a shortened week because of Holy Week. You got cattle on feed report tomorrow, so that could skew things The board's been higher the last 3 trading sessions, so that's optimistic. Barns are very, very choppy when it comes to these sale barn cattle, but there's just not a lot of numbers to get a true, feel of the market. So I'm looking for a steady. I'm hopeful we get a steady cash market this week. I think that would, we got to get through this month of April, and then we can start looking forward to that once again, grilling season. So other than that, yeah, kills haven't been good. Futures really haven't done anything. I think the market's sitting in limbo right now between bonds, between equities, between cattle. I mean, grains have been the shining light. Grains are screaming higher, and for good reason. But still a lot of choppy trade in these futures markets.
Yeah, it's crazy how much the cattle market, like we know it just instinctively, like the cattle market relies on the rest of the markets and stuff like that so much. But at the same time, it's crazy how much everything can just kind of be put to a halt when everything else is going a little haywire. Where we're like, let's not do anything. We're not gonna move an inch.
Yep.
And just kind of wait and see. So I think that's just kind of the summary of where we're at right now, is a little bit of wait and see, and also let's just push through April and hopefully next month it gets better.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I'm optimistic. Everybody's still going to work. Everybody's still eating 3 meals a day. The world didn't come to an end last week because the market got goofy. Optimistic, but yeah, it's just want to get 2 weeks down the road, and then we can start looking a little more optimistic. So
yeah, we can move that slider on the scale up just a little bit more, hopefully, right?
I forgot all about that. Oh yeah,
move that scale up just a hair, hopefully in a few weeks. So
absolutely.
Any other thoughts on markets? Any other highs, lows, things we need to chat?
No, I think we just about covered it all. If guys are in need of corn needs this summer, I think we should get summer needs booked up. New crop. Too early to start predicting the weather, and it's kind of a fool's errand to begin with. So I don't know. When it comes to the feed needs, I don't know how aggressive I want to be just yet on buying corn needs. I think there's still a lot of time to do that. So not overly aggressive there, but I think there'll be a day where we want to step in and buy some new crop corn, start getting those feed needs for next year booked up.
Perfect. And how's LRP things looking right now?
Doing good. Lately, it's just been ho-hum market, so with the push we had the last 3 days in the feeder cattle market, I'm anticipating we're going to start seeing some action heating back up, as we push towards those levels. Last night, we got some really, really good quotes out of the August, September, even July was pretty decent, knocking up there at levels close to those highs. So I really, really encourage guys to get up there and grab those. They are extremely high. I was on the phone yesterday trying to buy a load of yearling steers, and oh my gosh, they're high in the barns. I'm very, very happy for the producers who own those and made all the money, but me as a feed yard, it's like, woof, a big pill to swallow. So if guys are, if that backgrounder, that grazer, or even the cow-calf guy is stepping out and looking into this fall and winter market, just know that the feed yards such as me are not fully enjoying these high-priced feeder cattle. And if we see our fat cattle price slip at all, we're going to pull in the reins quick. So, like I said, not trying to get all bearish, but I do think up here at these levels we need to be looking at protection.
1,000%. And if anyone listening to this is interested in just chatting more about it, learning more about it, check out our CattleUSA Insurance link that we have linked down below that we partner with Logic Ag Marketing on. And you guys can get in touch with the team there and just learn more, see what your numbers could potentially be at and all of the things like that. So Dan, as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate it here on this amazing, what is it, Wednesday morning? Wednesday morning. Amazing Wednesday morning. We're halfway through the week.
More day and 3-day weekend.
Another day. 3-day weekends, what are those? I don't have those as a business owner. What is this weekend? Is this weekend Easter?
Yeah. Good Friday.
Oh, yeah. It is. It is. Look at that. Look at that.
Yep.
We take it one day at a time.
Get your eggs boiled up. Get your eggs painted.
I have my boiled eggs in the fridge. My husband is anti-boiled eggs, though. So, I know. So weird. Thank you. I appreciate that sentiment because I had boiled eggs with avocado toast this morning, and that's been my, obsession for the past 2 weeks for my breakfast. And he's like, ew, boiled eggs. That's gross. I'm like,
but I can fix that.
Whatever.
Mash it, mix it in, put butter, a shitload of butter in it, and salt and pepper. He will love
No longer healthy.
How is butter and salt and pepper unhealthy? This is a great.
Okay, that's fair. That's old Lauren talking. New Lauren, butter is healthy. Butter, that's a shit ton of butter. Like, how much butter?
Well, not a pound by any means, but,
Like, a one boiled egg with just a bunch of butter and you just smash it.
similar amount you would.
Do you heat up your boiled egg when you do this? Or do you eat it cold?
Or you can eat it cold. It's good both ways.
I'm going to have to try this.
It's unreal. It's good.
Oh my gosh. Hoorah. Gotta love it.
Salt, pepper, and butter fixes everything.
Learn something new every single day. Salt, pepper, and butter do fix pretty much everything that you could possibly need in life. So that's a good sentiment to have. Well, amazing. I'm going to have to try that, and I will report back next week on
Next week
my
for more
salt.
cooking classes.
You guys came here for the cattle markets. You didn't realize you were going to get advice on how to eat your boiled eggs. But,
That's right.
Let us know if you try some salt, pepper, and buttered boiled eggs and report back.
Worth it.
I sure will be next week with hesitation, but I mean, the ingredients themselves are all great, so it can't be that bad all put together. So,
Best way to eat them. Yep.
alrighty. Well, Dan, thank you for your time. And to all of you listeners out there, we will see you all tomorrow on another episode of the CattleUSA Daily Podcast. Have a good one, y'all. We'll see ya.